Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today I have another message for you. So it's a nice day here on the farm. It looks a little bit overcast, but it's not real hot, so that's nice. The horses are out, so I don't think it's gonna rain right now, but it kind of feels like it may rain, so we'll see what happens. But today I wanna share with you an intuitive message that came through yesterday. I got to go to a graduation last night, and a message came through to share with you here today. If you are new here, I want to welcome you to my channel. I want to welcome you to hit that subscribe button to come back for my daily intuitive messages. I put out daily intuitive messages based on things that happen in my everyday life. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. So yesterday I got the privilege of going to a graduation, and it was my neighbor's graduation. I think it might be starting to rain actually. But we're under the porch, so that's good. But anyhow, just when I was saying it wasn't going to rain, all of a sudden it starts raining. But anyhow, I like the rain even better when I'm under the porch, right? So anyhow, yesterday I got to go to a graduation. It was actually really special because my neighbor's son, that's who was graduating. He was graduating high school. He kind of grew up with my daughter. He's a couple years older, but him and his sister are basically like family to us. I grew up, they grew up next door to us, and my daughter, she's an only child, and so she really played a lot with them. She spent a lot of time with them, so they're like family to us. So we got the privilege of going to their graduation, and as I was in that graduation ceremony, they were saying lots of beautiful things and things like that. But what really stood out to me was just the feeling of being there and what it meant to graduate. So I really want to bring forth a message to you, a confirmation to you that this is your graduation. You are shifting. You don't necessarily need a cap and gown. You have shifted into something brand new, and it's as exciting as graduating high school with a whole cap and gown. So in the graduation, they were talking a lot about, remembering the years in high school and how they had their ups and their downs and, their amazing moments and all of these memories that they're going to hold dear for the rest of their lives. And they were talking about how, now they're going into the unknown, whatever that happens to be for them, whether they go to college, whether they go into the workforce, whether they go into the military, or whatever they choose to do. So their next step is a new chapter in their life where they're going forward into something totally brand new. And they didn't say this, but essentially, what I felt was, you're not really ever going to go back to that previous chapter of high school. We don't ever return to high school to go back to high school. Once we graduate, we're out of that. We're out of that stage of our life, and we're moving forward. So this is really a confirmation to you that you have lived many chapters in your life. You have moved past many things in your life, and you've truly left that behind. So whatever chapter you may be leaving behind right now, just realize you are truly leaving it behind. You're not going to be going back. There's no teeter-tottering. You've left that. You've graduated, let's say, high school. So whatever you're doing now, you're moving into, really stay with it. Stay with that timeline. You're not going backwards. And so there was some talk there about like nostalgia. There was teachers that came up and talked about, that they graduated from high school there maybe 17 years ago. And they were talking about, their memories of that high school. And see, we will always have kind of that nostalgia of the past. We'll have those memories, but we're not meant to linger there. We're not meant to stay there, because if we stay in our past memories, just kind of reliving that. And a lot of times that can be something painful for us, a relationship that ends, or, a situation that we don't understand, or something that we're longing for that's no longer here. If we stay too much in that, what ends up happening is we end up being like a victim. We create a victimhood for ourselves, because we're like wanting something that's no longer here, or blaming something, or being stuck in something that's no longer here. So that's why we hear over and over and over again that the present moment is all there is, because the present moment truly is full with so much. Yes, it is the unknown, but in the unknown is everything you ever wanted, is your highest timeline, is mystery, is playfulness, is co-creation. It's literally everything that you want is right here in the unknown. So you might be in this stage of life where you've maybe closed a chapter and you're opening a new chapter. And it feels, like the unknown, and it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit like, what do I do now? Who am I? And I'm sure a lot of those high school students are feeling that way as well. They're excited that they graduated, but at the same time, they know that next year they won't go to high school anymore. They know that next year, when school year starts, not next year, but, just a few months from now, when school starts back over in August, they won't be going back to a school. They won't be going back to all of this. They'll be going somewhere different. Maybe it's college, maybe it's work, maybe it's the military, but they're not going to be returning to high school. They're not going to be returning to that kind of coddled life, even though, I'm sure that they worked very hard during high school. That stage has ended and something new has begun. And so just like that in your life, whatever chapter you're closing, we're not going to go back to that. So it's now time to look forward rather than staying in the past and creating kind of victimhood or, kind of this time lapse where we're stuck in the past. It's time to look forward. And so I've heard like on different songs, one of my favorite singers is Jelly Roll, and he has a song where, it's mentioned many times that the windshield is way bigger than the back window, because we're meant to look forward, not meant to look back. And so keep your eyes forward, keep taking that step forward. And if you fail at something, if something that you thought was your next chapter doesn't go right or something happens, keep getting back up over and over and over again, and keep going. It's not that we have to kind of sulk and stay in this stage. We just keep moving forward. Looking forward is the main thing that we need to be doing. Staying in this moment, waking up to the unknown and realizing that we don't know what comes next, but that is okay. And kind of sitting in a stage where we feel like we can accept that we don't know every next step. We really always want to have this plan. We want to have everything so planned out. What does our next 5 years look like? What does the next 10 years look like? When are we going to retire? What are we going to do then? But life throws us a lot of wrenches, right? We never know what's going to happen. We could experience a new baby. We could experience illness. We could experience a total change in our employment or something. There's always surprises and things that happen in our life. No matter how much we try to control something or plan it out, it never turns out just like we planned it, right? So if we really look back and we think about all those plans that we've made, we don't make those plans. And there's a Bible verse around that. It's not us that make those plans. It's God that directs your path. We can make our plans, but God directs your paths is the verse. And comment down below if you know the actual verse. But that is so true. We can make our plans. I could sit here and write out a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. But at the end of the day, God's going to direct my steps. And who knows where that's going to lead, how it's going to be. I never in a million years thought that I would be doing what I do today. And so this is totally unexpected, unknown. I never would have thought that, ever. So we never know where we'll end up or what we'll be doing. But we have to just wake up every day into that unknown and follow our joy, follow what, brings us excitement, what brings us, aliveness, what makes us feel creative, and go in those directions. And realize that we can't always plan everything, but everything's always happening for us in our highest good. So it was really a great thing to go to that graduation last night. And I want to say to you that if you have moved into a new timeline, you've shifted into something new, you've closed a chapter, you've moved into something that you're now doing that you weren't doing before, just like those students got to celebrate yesterday and probably went home to a celebration or having a graduation party or something like that. Celebrate yourself each step of the way. Light a candle. Give yourself a treat. If you like ice cream or a milkshake, go get yourself a milkshake. Play some music for you. Have a little party for yourself every so often. Allow yourself to celebrate as you move along in your journey of life, because it is truly beautiful. And one day you're going to miss what was in the past, but it's only to look back on for the fond memories, not to go back and want it. But so we must celebrate everything that we're in and really move forward into whatever is happening now, whatever God is directing our steps into. And having total faith that wherever we are going, we are held up, we are, going in our highest good. Everything that's happening is happening for us and expanding us into more and more and more of who we are. So I hope that this message found you well. If you're wanting to connect with yourself, if you've made it this far in my video, and you're wanting to really return back to yourself, to really connect with that essence within you that's guiding you, to connect with your intuition, to connect with your inner voice and the truth of who you are, to move along this world really with having your own self-trust and, you know, being free to be who you are authentically. If that sounds good to you, I do have a program. It's a coaching program right now. It's 4 weeks and it's one-on-one with me, which I don't really do very much anymore. So if that sounds good to you, if you've been wanting to do that, go ahead and reach out to me. Email me at schoolofscarlett@gmail.com. I will put that in my description and in the pinned comment down below. If this is speaking to you, let's walk this together. Let's move into a new chapter in our life and not look back. So if that sounds good to you, I really am looking forward to working with you. So if you're a new viewer to my channel, again, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for staying till the end of the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really helps out my channel, and I would love to see you back here again. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being supportive of my channel, for always showing up, for your lovely messages and emails and all of your participation in so many different ways. I absolutely love you all, and I will catch you on our next video.